It's morally wrong, of course, but with this day and age, I would, in our times, I would disagree, yeah, or maybe agree with him actually. That one of the solutions might be cheap sex, easy sex.
I know this is potentially a controversial take, but stay with me as I think I have a pretty compelling argument. You'll hear a lot of complaining these days from both men and women about the current state of the sexual marketplace. There's too much casual sex. There aren't enough committed relationships. Marriage and birth rates are in free fall throughout much of the Western world, things of that sort. And there is obviously truth to that perspective. Sex, in particular, has been significantly devalued over
The easier, the the way that you see it.
past 50
Let's continue. I want him to maybe mention one point, and then we can talk about it.
years. Whereas a couple of generations ago, sex with a woman was priced at a lifetime of protection, provision, and commitment. The going rate for sex today is a couple of drinks at the local bar, if that. As I argue in my
Yeah, if that. It's not even that actually. It's much easier now. The way that you see it, if you notice how easy it is, you would even start feeling disgusted as a man. I'm saying it's way easier now. From any person, from any unexpected person, you would might notice this thing. You would be surprised and you'll be disgusted at the same time because I've seen this with my own eyes. I've experienced this also.
my book, birth control was essentially Black Tuesday for the valuation of sex. Its bubble has burst. And this might not be a problem. I think it's time we collectively acknowledge that a lifetime of protection, provision, and commitment is an insanely high price to pay for sex. Like, sex has been hyperinflated for centuries.
Protection is meaningless also now. It's literally that we as men, I'm not saying that for a woman we are still we became meaningless or not important, but still it's useless now. They don't even care about this shit, and what they are doing in return is exposing themselves, being 24 hours on maybe Instagram or like exposing their bodies. This is my point. But from what's happening and what he's saying also, it's about protection. No one needs protection anymore. No one is asking for protection, and it's only this dramatic relationships that are happening, and after 6-7 months they break up.
Overpaid for it for thousands and thousands of years. So I actually think we're closer to the true value of sex today than we have been in quite some time. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Historically, the hyperinflation of female sexual access has motivated men all over the world to do all kinds of incredible things in order to generate sufficient value to trade at that price point. Sex could reside behind all kinds of courtships and commitments and sacrifices and responsibilities, which were often difficult and expensive to secure and maintain, in large part because the market rate for sex was so high. Ladies just didn't have sex before marriage. And while this created an underclass of women who were willing to transact for that resource more cheaply, it meant that, like it or not, most men would have to pony up at the altar if they wanted to get laid. This is why I think it's dangerous to romanticize your grandparents' relationship. Yes, they were married for 60 years, but they might have only gotten married because they were horny teenagers and there was literally no other way for them to scratch that itch. And they might have only stayed married because divorce was literally illegal. Trust me, if the pill and no-fault divorce existed 100 years ago, we would not have this collective nostalgia for our grandparents' relationship.
We wouldn't even maybe exist also. But the whole world would be different. Of course, their lives were different, our grandparents. And we can relate, all of us, whether you are in the West or I'm in the Middle East, for example. What's happening also today in today's world with every single woman, and I'm talking about women only because men literally they're not doing anything. Most 90% of them are literally invisible. They don't even exist. This is where Andrew Tate, the Red Pill, and all these people they come into play. Most of us, we don't even exist anymore. And women, they're only getting the passes with the 1%. And most of them, and I've experienced this, women themselves, when you are a respectful man, even when you want to act like this, not of course the nice guy, the opposite of a nice guy, the bad person, the bad guy, they still initiate. They do the initiate the action. This is what I noticed from women also in this day and age. Whether you are an Arab or European, everyone, most of them are thirsty now for sex, and most of them are acting in a sexual manner.
In any case, since most women didn't have sex before marriage, which hyperinflated the value of their sexual access, men had to do a lot to meet them at that price point. Like, make no mistake, the hyperinflation of female sexual access has historically motivated men to become better men, probably more than any other single incentive on this planet. Men would invent an 8th day of the week if it would increase the likelihood of them getting laid. In any case, this is likely one of the main drivers of the men's crisis in contemporary society. You see, no one will pay more than they need to for the same good. If men often became better in order to meet the historically hyperinflated value of female sexual access, and if sex today is so cheap, then we should expect to see much less effort from men in this regard. And this is, of course, precisely what we're seeing, which creates a negative feedback loop.
Yeah, exactly. This is what's happening. I'm telling you, even now, actually, when we talk even about maybe the 80% of women getting the 20%, even out of the 100% of men, those in the 80% which we are saying that they're invisible, they can easily get sex, actually. They can easily get it if they get the attention of one of the 80% of the women. When you're talking about the 80% of women, some of them, or most of them actually, they're not that beautiful or ugly. Sorry, that they're not that beautiful. Most of them are ugly. They don't get that much attention. So maybe they would speak to someone, which is also, we're talking about the men now who are invisible, and easily it can happen with small, small touches. She would grab his hand and it would end somewhere closed. No one would know what was happening between them in a room. So yeah, this is the point. It's cheap, actually. Yeah, it's cheap sex now. Uh, Now, of course, I can't put this in our culture, of course, and in most of the cultures, because there are still many respectful people, of course, men and women. But still, within these communities or cultures, also, it's happening. Even deep down, when you say that, for example, this community is protected, or they are not infected with this poison, it's only Americans, for example, or people who are open-minded, liberals. Yeah, but still, we are facing it everywhere. It's happening. You see it with teenagers, 15, 16 years old, doing this act together.
Since sex is so cheap, there is hardly a reason to go to large and difficult lengths to obtain it. So why might this be a good thing? Chris Rock has this great bit about how dick is cheap. It's hilarious, but not entirely true. Like, dick is not cheap inherently. It's only cheap relatively. Namely, it's cheap in comparison to the hyperinflated female equivalent. However, now that female sexual access has been devalued, now that, in my opinion, we're closer to the true value of female access, women can't expect to merely transact their sexual access for a committed relationship like
They can't. It's not even valuable anymore. It's 100% not even valuable anymore. Most of the men between maybe 20 to 30 years old, all that they're thinking about is how to build themselves, because they're stuck in this bad new world order loop that we are not getting out of. On the other hand, you have women, 99% of them, thinking that they are beautiful, spending all day on Instagram getting the attention and validation, and then they think that, yeah, easily, yeah, I can do it. Let me just talk 2 3 words. They got this confidence now. They are turning masculine, knowing that if they want to, they are not feeling shame also anymore. They turn masculine, knowing that if they would ask maybe, or at least do something indirectly, they would gain what they want. This is exactly what's happening.
marriage. Those two goods are no longer comparable, like not by a long shot. And this is an incredible change. Like, it cannot be overstated how momentous this is. For perhaps the first time in a very long time, the value of a man's commitment significantly exceeds the value of a woman's sexual access, like significantly. And this means that women today cannot hope to secure commitment through sex, which, for better or worse, has been their primary, if not exclusive, strategy for centuries. If you're interested in taking your understanding to the next level,
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's not like before. Most of the relationships, they're not even lasting. Marriages. It's really funny now seeing people getting married. Although I wish them all the luck, especially to my close people, also to my close family members, because I don't want them to feel something if they watch this. But it's gone now. And if you noticed it also, growing up, or even when you notice it, it's like a taboo speaking about the female sexuality, or how sexually active they can be. Of course, no one accepts this. Even women themselves, the ladies themselves, no one accepts it.
just like men had to become, well,
Might be rambling
better
a little
in
bit
order to secure
because I'm trying to form speeches.
female sexual access in the past, that is, they had to become strong and masculine and responsible and committed and hardworking. Women now have to become, well, better in order to secure male commitment today. At least high value male commitment. Your average dude still comes pretty cheap. This doesn't mean that women can't secure male sexual access without leveling up. They can do that for sure. It means that they can't secure high value male commitment without doing so. Like, women think men are easy until they try to get married. And since they typically only want to hitch their wagons to the high value dudes, many of them are woefully unprepared for the challenges they suddenly encounter in this process. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Women have to offer something other than their sexual access in order to secure commitment. Now, many women listen to this and think, well, geez, Orion, I have a lot to offer. I'm well-traveled, I have a master's degree, I have a position as an associate
No one cares. We literally don't care.
manager, I make $100,000 a year. I think I come with a lot. And I'm here to tell you that men don't care about any of that shit. They don't. It's the cat that decides what milk is good, right? Women seem to think they can dictate what men should value. Well,
We don't really care. We just want you to stay at home, loyal. If you want us to provide, if you want us to provide and bring, and we are ready to do all of this, you are seeing so many gay men today because no one is even giving them responsibility. You're not showing any effort. Both sides, actually, both sides are wrong, but still, if you give us this opportunity to provide, if you stay in your place, not dictating like what he's saying, then maybe we can find a middle ground, a resolution where we can at least provide properly, open homes, and build families. But you do 99% don't even want this.
while simultaneously dismiss the things that men actually do. To secure commitment, a woman needs to be useful to the man in question, and she cannot create unnecessary problems in his life. High value men want warm, supportive, feminine women. You're there to help him realize his mission. He's not there to help you realize yours. Your mission gets realized in the process of realizing his mission. Like, that's what's expected of anyone who serves on another person's ship. And if that doesn't work for you, that is perfectly all right. But you might have to build your own ship.
Yeah, go build your own and then regret it. Go get your 3 cats and live till you're 60, 70 years old crying every night with your cats and without anyone next to you. No kids, no husband, and casual sex, which is the cheap sex that he's talking about. Other than that, we are telling you, we are putting effort. There is no woman. You can't find no woman in this age, in this day and age, that's doing what we are doing. Actually, most men, if they're not trying to be creative, they need to work 12 to 16 hours, bad jobs, maybe overtime jobs, for minimum wages. And if we still have time, like what I'm doing, for example, I finish my work, I have other things to do, also gym and all the other things to complete out of work. and then I need to come back and sit over here, trying to do something. So get me one female that's doing these things. On the other hand, she sits over there. She sits. I'm the princess. I want this and that, and she gets the excuse of cheating. She goes to work. She gets her job. She cheats with some coworker over there, and it's proven. 80 to 90%. I was reading it somewhere. 80 to 90% affairs happen over there with your colleagues or coworkers. That's at work, and then after work you have your DMs, people texting you left and right. You don't even care about your husband if you have a husband or a boyfriend. And then it reaches to a point where you want to break up or divorce, and then you want to get what he has also. If he has something maybe to offer, you want that 50% also out of it. And that I'm talking about the West, of course. Arabs, Middle Easterns, that's another issue also, because we are facing the same problem actually.
And seek to attract a passenger of your own. Just keep in mind that the men who you might want to attract, the men who already have their own ship, aren't ever going to give that up to be a passenger on yours. Like, what else can you do, ladies? Are you interesting? Are you funny? Are you charming?
Get married, stay at home, demand. See, this goes into details. I can't go Islamically now over here on the stream. Get married, say what you want, demand what you want, build your own home internally, and the man is external outside. If it works, it works. You have your kids, you're building your life, you have your freedom also. Not saying to tie you up in a home, at home. But this is the main point. That if you loosen, if you put your legs on that brake and start thinking, I'm talking about women now, thinking about how you can build this future with your man, it will all be solved. But unless you want this freedom, you want to wear whatever you want to go whenever you want out, and then he doesn't control you or control your phone or your life. And we are not saying that he needs to control you. Of course, there needs to be trust. But still, it will not work. Even if you get into a relationship or you get married. People will still chase you. You'll give them space. They will DM you. You will play around. You'll flirt around. It's literally what's happening with Larry Wheels, I think, now also. And then you would sit over there acting like you're the good wife until the time comes, and then you leave.
Are you?
And then you destroy yourself, of course. Leaving doesn't mean that we lost, actually, as men. Because when you leave, even when you have a backup plan, which is even worse, when you think that, I sorted out everything, I did everything correctly, you leave and then you lose. You end up lonely, crying every night. And this is actually what you want, I think, as a woman, to cry every night. Regret. And then get your cats and then die with them, maybe.
Kind?
Die of old age, of course. Nothing bad or harmful.
Are you easy to get along with? Are you adventurous? Like, there's many different ways that you can provide value. And this is important, are you not creating problems that negate any positives that you do bring to the relationship? And keep in mind, it's not ultimately for you to decide whether or not you are these things. It's for the man. It's for the man. Like the comedian doesn't decide if the joke is funny. The audience does. So if you believe you are all of these things and more, but you're finding it difficult to secure a consistent commitment from the men you would prefer, the market is giving you feedback. I say the same thing to men all the time. If a man is having trouble attracting female attention, securing dates, getting laid,
work on yourself. There's no need, as a man, there's no need to think about all of this bullshit. I used to do the same thing, think about all of these things, and I was young, maybe, around maybe since high school, after finishing high school, starting maybe 18, 19 years old, from this period till maybe 24, 25, and I'm thinking, why should I do this? I need to work on myself. Gym, cryptocurrency, more finance, more hard work, career-wise, all of these things. and then they will come alone. They'll start flowing on their own inside. They will meet you. Indirectly, they will start giving you signs.
Don't tell him that he's perfect in every way, and his lack of success is due to women feeling too threatened to see his real worth, probably due to their fragile femininity. Like, come on, get real here, guys. We all basically understand that a man with those outcomes isn't doing something right. Well, guess what, ladies? The same is true for you.
Yeah, exactly.
If used
Both sides.
properly, this market feedback will dissolve your vanity and help you succeed in a reality-based way. Ignore or dismiss it at your own risk. In any case, a woman cannot hope to merely bank on her sexuality in order to secure the commitment of a high-value man. Like it or not,
Doesn't happen. Even the average man now, at least he will get away with 1 or 2 women maybe before getting married. And then in marriage, your sex value is nothing. Literally nothing. You need to put more effort now as a woman. You have your freedom, right? You have whatever you wanted, and what feminists fought for. You need to work hard on this also. Marriage is not easy anymore. It's not about sex.
this is priced at a couple of drinks at the local bar. Such a man is not going to trade a lifetime of protection, provision, and commitment. So don't think you're bestowing him some great blessing in the bedroom. My point is that this sexual devaluation might actually be a good thing, or at least contain a silver lining. It's a good thing as long as women can let go of the historical valuation and see current and foreseeable market conditions clearly. Just as was true for men for centuries, this might motivate women to make an effort to secure commitment by providing more goods, services, and experiences to transact at a comparable valuation. And this will be necessary because the commitment of a high-value man is way more valuable than sex from a particular woman. Like, way.
Yeah, exactly. If you get this loyalty from a man or this commitment, he's ready to die for you. Literally, we have this wired in our brains. I had it once. Even I was in a relationship, not even married, and I was like, shit, I need to protect her. If something happens or goes wrong with maybe we're out, going out on a date or something, and if something happens, then yes, I need to throw myself and kill myself for her, be in danger for her. This is how we are wired. And it's with evolution, with time. If you continue like this as a woman, men will adapt. And we started adapting, actually, because now everyone is going his own way. Everyone is going his own way. Men, they don't even care anymore. And women should even put more effort now into relationships. Otherwise, you'll find a disconnect. Most of my relationships, I started disconnecting. And then my only bad behavior, the only bad thing that I did was that I used to chase again, knowing that, yeah, it's okay, it's haram to lose her, in a sense that it's a mistake to lose her. So that's why I used to chase again. But then I would think again, if I even have her, she has a very bad past. Why should I keep her also? I'm not ready to die for her.
More valuable. That's the prospect of indefinitely receiving a top percentile full-time salary without working, compared with a bar tab. Not only are these valuations not comparable, they're not in the same fucking ballpark. Like, I'm not even sure they're the same fucking sport at this point.
Even with the high earner, the person who's a millionaire, for example, he wouldn't even care. Yes, he will marry you. Maybe after 2 weeks he would be cheating on you, and you should. The sad thing is that you would agree also. you would give him the pass to cheat because he's providing you with money. Lose your value for money. This is what you want.
And it's up to women. It's up to women to do something to close that valuation gap if they hope to get what they want. Real talk. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message. I know you know someone who needs to hear this, because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. Other value propositions. Anyone look?
It is. And see, the cheap sex, it is a reality, yeah. And the thing is that I'm not getting my point properly, because I'm thinking about, I don't want to mix both cultures, because He's talking, of course, about the West, where we all know what's happening in the West. We between us, we speak what Americans do, for example, or Europeans, or their traditions and culture, what they did with their sexual behavior, and then this is one part, and the second part is, of course, the Middle East. And I don't want to say always the Middle East, but we as Arabs, of course, we act differently. We still have our families and parents, and most of the West also, they have their families and their own traditions, but still we deal with it in a certain way also, in a different way. And it is happening actually. This cheap sex situation is happening actually with us, but it's not that consistent, or it's not happening on a daily basis, of course. If something would happen, it would happen to a couple maybe once or twice in a month, or maybe in few months, until it turns serious and they need to get married, for example. And still, families are very strict over here, so it's different. That's why it's really difficult to mix the ideas or speak about one side, not focusing on the other side, because my main focus is also about Middle East, especially in my country, Lebanon. We are more open over there than any other Arabic country, I think, with our mentality and lifestyle and all the bullshit that's happening over there, and the wars also. This concept is very easy. Yeah, you need systems, and this is actually how I started building myself also. How everything started working with me. Sorry. Divide your hours, divide your tasks. I did this to complete this to complete this. I think one of the books can help. I forgot the name. Atomic Habits. Yeah, I read most of it. Did not complete it, but it helps a lot. Where you can put systems in place and you can complete more than one task. Of course, rolling the other. There was a term for this, but I forgot the name of the term. This is very true, actually. Yeah, it works.